welcome to the CONCAFA Pod. I am one of your hosts, Bubba Gumpino, joined by not one, but two footy legends with the Champions League happening right now. How we doing, lads?
We got two this week.
We got two legends.
No. Sorry. We got three. You're included.
I was actually gonna say I was just gonna put Jackson Cup champion under my name, just so I had something like you guys.
I saw the post, dude. I was sick.
Yeah. Royal Athletic Park, legendary stadium from back in the
You
day.
definitely had like a bit of a mohawk, though. I like that.
That was the only option we had left, brother. I was holding on at the front, and it was still nice. Still had it at the back.
It was actually like a Joe Dirt.
Oh yeah, dude. And after that,
Can you do a split screen Joe Dirt,
buddy. After that, when it was really starting to go, I went fucking Chuck Liddell.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that was the last. That was the last hope I had was the Chuck Liddell
from the front.
Yeah.
Backside.
Oh yeah. Just
I
kept
bet
it
you
tight.
I bet you no one messed with you when you were on the pitch with the Chuck Liddell haircut.
Yeah, I was on about 600 milligrams a week of Trenbolone too, so I was about 205. So yeah, those were in the tightest jersey possible. Absolutely. Oh no. No, pen. Fuck off. Get up, you wanker.
VAR.
Get up,
Come on.
you wanker.
He's taking the piss now.
Oh, boys are coming out hot. You love to see it. Trent on the bench after his big move to Real, so that's an interesting to come back home to be benched. But I digress.
Come on.
Nothing new there, though.
It takes some time.
Of course.
It takes some time. There's an adjustment period when you go to Real Madrid. Come on.
Oh my god, that could have been a.
Ooh, I don't know.
I've seen that.
No, it's a clean tackle by Robo.
Hey, I will say there was an interesting. I don't know if you read the article with Ozil, and he talked about like his just time at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And then when he left Real Madrid, obviously his father was acting as his agent and obviously the president of Real Madrid, and how there was like some obviously disagreements there, but his regret to leaving the club.
Yeah, because it kind of went to shit at Arsenal.
Yeah, but I mean, he was like, dude. I remember playing against him. He was. You think about a player with his quality, and this just goes back. I'm just remembering players and the team at Arsenal, bro. He was so calm and silky smooth, where it just looked effortless, and he'd always pick the right pass. He'd always have a great, perfect touch, and his enticing of like that in him taking that touch was just enticing the defender to step, and you could be stepping in the right way to defend it, but he'd still find a way to split a ball between two lines and right on a dime to his teammate. And it just goes back for me. It was a player that doesn't get enough credit. He's kind of forgotten a little bit, and he
100%,
was.
I agree. I don't think he got the credit he deserved. Even his stats, if you see his stats like compared to like other midfielders, it's insane. But he didn't. He was always talked about as a lazy player. But I think a lot of that comes from the way he moved. He moves so smooth and everything. And
you could not see him all game, then bang, touch a class.
Yeah.
Like he'd only need that one chance.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that sucks is no matter how good you are, like sometimes you're only remembered for like how it ended. Like it kind of fizzled out at Arsenal. Like if you do go back and watch what he did at Real Madrid, even at the start at Arsenal,
dude,
he was
23.
fine.
Yeah, like I think it was 23 or 24 assists.
Yeah.
Then 25, then 27 or 28. It was like 3 years back to back of like, and obviously he's got Benzema, he's got Ronaldo, he's got dude. He had world class players around him, obviously, but just to think of like just to think of the quality that he had, and he'd put it on a dime for them. Yeah. So it was just interesting. It just shows you, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like these games, like this, Liverpool or Real Madrid, they're amazing games. They really are, because there's so much talent on the pitch. But there's just that, I know you might disagree here, but the just the fact that Real Madrid and the status of their club compared to Liverpool, it's another level. And in demand, you could say, and excellence and standards of their fucking Real Madrid.
Yep.
I don't even think it's a knock on Liverpool. I think it's just like
Yeah,
No,
no, that's
it's
that.
just
Yeah,
it's just the club.
that's just the reality of what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, it takes time for Trent. Like, I mean, I think he's found it was a big adjustment, and I think it's going to take time, but I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. As time goes on, it'll be what it is. I don't think. I don't know. You watch the video. I don't think Trent would be the one to ever be like Michael Owen and play for Man U. You know.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like when you see those videos of when fucking Michael Owen got subbed on when he was at United, dude. Holy fuck, man. Oh, maybe the greatest boost of
what
all
a save.
time. I'm fucking frozen over here. Speaking of Speaking of Arsenal, they win again 2-0. I mean, they are. I mean, Pep said it. He goes, we're just hoping to get a shot on Arsenal. Like they are stout right now, dude.
Yep.
It's been coming for a while, right? They were really good, but then they would have like these moments where they were pretty dull and couldn't finish games. And now they're finishing pretty, they're finishing ugly, and they're making a name for themselves.
They're deep too, man. They really are. Like they're down some guys in Champions League, and they just went in there today, just got the job done. They're 1.5 goal favorite. Like they're just getting the job done, and they're not conceding, man. And that's the biggest part of it. They're not leaky like they used to be in years past.
Or they're not like pushovers, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, that game against was it Arsenal the other week? It was kind of a couple weeks back, where it was a bit of a grind. They would have lost it, and they end up winning it. Then and it was a big result for Liverpool this past weekend as well, because Aston Villa is a very good team, and they had opportunities, and it was, for me, it was a very entertaining game. But for Liverpool to get out of that, the 2-0 win, like, they got some confidence, and I think it came at the right time for this game against Real Madrid. Give them a little bit of confidence. I mean, they're not high pressing as much right now. You can see.
I mean, it was kind of a must win, right, for Liverpool.
Well,
I mean,
especially
even for morale and
especially
confidence.
after what Slot did in the cup, just playing all the young kids and nobody on the bench. It was like, man,
and they did well.
I get.
Oh my!
I get not playing anybody, but it's like having no one on the bench is wild as well. This game's kind of wide open here, huh?
Yeah.
It's nice to see Connor Bradley doing better, because he's had a bit of a tough go when everyone thought he was going to be a replacement for Trent. He's had a tough start.
He did, yeah. He did struggle
for a minute. Huh?
What's that?
He was good at the weekend.
Yeah, he was. And then Chelsea beat Spurs. Tommy Frank kind of gets mugged off by his players at the end of the game there.
He did address it. We did see that, right? And remember, we actually talked about it. Like, yeah, it's one of those where, shit, you come off the pitch, you're so pissed off, you just gave up 3 points. You know, like, it's one of those tough to swallow, and your emotions are high, and you don't think of it as a player to go over and thank your fans immediately, because they did. Yeah. You know, it's just one of those things. You know, and yeah, it happens, but he did address it. He said the guys came in, they apologized. And like I said, I'm sure it was addressed right after the match, to be honest. And he probably said, hey, who the fuck do you think you guys are, being disrespectful to the fans and obviously to him? But I will say, if you're a good manager and you understand that mindset in that moment, they're gonna probably take a deep breath, and they might not even say anything, you know, and just say, hey, I'll speak Monday, you know.
I was gonna say, you leave it right then. You're heated, like, especially after you just played, like, everything's going, you're in the battle, and all of a sudden it's over. Like, just give it a sec, even if it's in the locker room or Monday, like you said, just give it a sec.
And there was probably more players that were on the pitch that just fucking walked. They just got clocked right away.
You're
just
always,
that's just social media.
Everyone's got a fucking camera, dude. It's like you're just always like, they can chop that thing up to make it look a million times worse. Speaking of good managers, your favorite Gaffa is could be back in the Prem, Geoff. Ten Hag possibly at Wolverhampton, since Gary O'Neill said, I don't want this fucking job.
I would love to be his agent, man. This guy's fucking laughing right now.
If I'm his agent, I'm saying sit there and take that money. Look
Legit,
for a better
dude.
job.
What happened to
What,
What happened to Wolves, man?
dude? They were flying the year they got promoted. The first 2 years, they were flying, but I don't know. What a save! This game is
Dude,
wide open.
Courtois,
Yeah.
dude, death taxes, and Courtois standing on his head every time he plays Liverpool. Remember that Champions League game we lost 1-0, the final? Had like a million fucking chances. They had one chance. Vinny Jr. slots at home. He's like, the guy's unbelievable. That's pretty good half though. 0-0.
Yeah,
They played well. They're playing better, man. It's good to see after a bit of a tough stretch. Good to see Man U back tying again. They tied Nottingham Forest, so that was.
what were we saying, Gump?
Beaten or 5 games?
Yeah, that guy. I mean, at this point, there's no way he wants Man U to win 5 straight because what's his gimmick going to be if he cuts his hair? Like that's going to be the end of it. There's no way he wants Man U to win 5 straight.
I mean,
his fame's over.
Yeah, that'll be the end of it.
But hey, what's the thing though? Like we were texting in our group of just is Man United back? Or are they back? Was this just a blip?
Yeah.
Like false confidence. Yeah, they're playing well. They are playing better, which you have to give them credit. Credits due. They are playing better, but are they at the level of fucking City or Man or Arsenal or Liverpool? I mean, okay, Liverpool's they had a big win that was a big confidence booster for United, and it was kind of a gut wrenching punch to Liverpool, but still 9 out of 10 times I still think Liverpool is a better team and they'll win 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
I still think they're a little bit off. And it might be that false confidence because that's a game that they should easily win.
I mean,
Right?
Sean Dyche at the wheel. Sean Dyche is going to dice ball you. He'll get you.
Yeah. Resilience.
He is. He does. Dude, Man City, I watched him play Bournemouth.
It's a Tony Pulis special.
Yeah. Legit. Tony, I like that. You see that quote from Tony Pulis? He's like, everyone's just playing how Stoke used to play. Your boy fucking just scored, dude. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And Zonzi scoring at 36 years old back at Stoke City. What a fucking legend.
He's fucking. Hey, I'm telling you, man. It was awesome to be back there and to see like, don't count them out. As long as they're in that mix, top 6, after Christmas, and they're just in that, give any chance, and that's the beauty of the championship,
Yeah, you
or
just got
just
to get
in
in that
English football.
playoff.
That's it. Anything can happen. It's kind of like the playoffs for the MLS. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen,
buddy. Inter Miami's just fucking. I'm worried. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about Game 3 in the first round.
I'm not worried about it. At home, they dominated.
Yeah.
They play away.
You know what?
Yeah, but Atlanta beat them last time.
Yeah, they did.
Right.
But Guzan got thrown into the net, dude. Never forget it. Suarez.
Nashville needs a worldie of a game. They need everything to go right to beat.
I don't love that LAFC and Vancouver are playing in the second round.
No, it sucks.
What the fuck happened? How did we get that? And then
that's why you guys asked me the question. Remember, you're like, and I'm like, yeah, but they're playing each other. That sucks. The two best teams are gonna take each other out.
That's fine though. That's why I still made a decision.
Whoever wins that game wins it all.
I'm going with Vancouver just because I want to see Vancouver there.
Yeah.
Is it? It's a.
I did you watch the game against Dallas?
Yeah.
Didn't play well. They grinded, and then got the job done.
LAFC kicked the shit out of Austin that second game.
Yeah. Austin didn't stand a chance, really.
But there's a few Sounders in Minnesota. Now they got a third game. San Diego, Portland got a third game. Columbus and Cincy got a third game. So that if Inter Miami beats Nashville, that kind of plays into their favor because they play the winner of Columbus and Cincy as well.
I really hope that Cincy wins. And obviously it's a big.
They got shit kicked in that second game, man.
They got donkey kicked for sure. But
it's
also like you're thinking about it. Okay, Nick Hagelin went down. Obviously last game they have to replace. Alves comes in. Then you have Kubo gets a red card. So they're missing obviously some players, but don't you think it would have been great to have DeAndre Yedlin as a experienced player that they could have kept by just offering him a decent contract and not saying, hey, you're an older player and we want to give you an offer that basically tells you to fuck off. And then he goes to Seattle, Salt Lake.
Yeah.
They just gave him a new contract. But damn, don't you think you needed a player like with his experience in for a playoff run like this? Because you signed a guy and you brought in a guy from Salt Lake City and you haven't played him because he's not good enough.
What?
But hey, great decision, Chris Albright. You know what? It could hurt you, but that's just what do you know? Just experienced veteran players you don't value. So like I said, I'm going to keep hitting that thing home because it is so important to have a guy that's been experienced that he could have slotted right in there and you know what you're going to get from him. So, I hope they do it though. I hope they do it.
Is that where is that Whitecaps LAFC game at? Because it's only one game now, right?
So it'll be
it's in Vancouver. Vancouver Whitecaps have sold over 40,000 tickets for Western Conference semifinal.
That
seat capacity 54,000. That was 2 hours ago.
That could favor.
That place is gonna be fucking loud, dude.
Should we go to it?
BC place.
Are you saying Are you saying we should go to it? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't like. I like my visa. I don't think I'm crossing the. I don't like. I'm not crossing that.
Dude, I would love to go back to Van.
Oh man.
Hey, let's just say if they beat we should go to. Yeah, they beat LAFC. Hey, we might have to go. Because won't they have home
Who do they
field?
play? They would play the winner of. I just had it pulled up. They would
Minnesota?
play the winner of. So Minnesota Sounders or San Diego Portland. Portland won that game against San Diego too, man.
So the winner of LAFC and Vancouver will play who then?
Both those games are going to a third game. Minnesota Seattle plays the winner of San Diego or Portland. So whoever wins that would play the winner of Whitecaps LAFC.
By the way, sorry, I just saw this.
But it would go to San Diego though, right? It would go to San Diego because they were second seed.
If it's San Diego, yeah. But anybody else, Whitecaps are 2. What was that, Brek?
Did you see Diaz got a red card after he scored 2 goals?
No. Fuck. PSG gonna come back here?
I don't know. He scored 2 and he got a red card.
Fucking Gordie Howe hat trick. I needed fucking Kane to score, dude.
Oh, dude, you know what? We gotta pick one of the matches. But then this just goes back to like, okay, let's just say hypothetically, if Miami gets knocked out, that destroys the MLS, like, and their whole like project of getting the final.
Leaves it wide open though on the East.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I still think it's Philly, Columbus Crew, and Cincinnati in the 3 that are the most all around teams that have everything defensively, attacking wise. They're the most cohesive team, you could say.
Yeah, Inter Miami's just always gonna get. There's just gonna be that fucking moment, dude, where they're.
You just don't know which Miami's gonna show up.
Yeah, it's like they're like you watch that first game at home, they're lights out. You're like, oh, this is easy. And then the second game, they're like, we're gonna play everybody. We're gonna try and end this because we know what happened last season. And then it's like, they just don't.
Yeah.
It's just shit. It's just messy.
They waited 25 minutes to start playing.
It's just messy in the funky bunch out there in Nashville in the rain. It's like, dude.
I mean,
I'm sure half the players
got saves though. Keep them in it.
Yeah,
their goalie is very good.
That's what it takes, right?
Yeah, you need that.
Got to give them some confidence, you could say. Yeah, it still just goes back to a fucking shit show of playoffs.
3 game set. I just don't understand why it's the first round.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't. I don't know.
Or like the quarters or at least it could be the semifinals. Like how cool would that be?
Yeah.
What it used to be, Jeff, the home and away, but how many rounds? There's only like 2 rounds, right?
Yeah, it was like first. I think maybe 3 rounds, but it was like home and away for the first round. Then it was single game elimination, I believe.
And then home and away again, or was only one? I don't remember. I just remember home and
Or maybe
away.
I think it was maybe home and away throughout the whole thing, except for the final, obviously.
Or the
and,
conference
and the
final
conference final. And the
Yeah,
conference final.
Conference final was 2 legs.
No, everything was 2 legs except for the conference final and the final.
Yeah.
And it was a neutral site final.
That's how it should be. I like the thought of that. It's like the Champions League final.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
They designated that area before when they announced the season, like the schedule, they're like, okay, the final's going to be here. It just so happened they announce it for LA Galaxy all the time, and it was always there.
Well, like this year, they would announce San Diego just because it's a new team.
Yeah, they would have gotten the rights for it. Yep. So it just goes back to it's just stupidity. They're just Mickey Mouse decisions, and that kind of goes right into Tony Scholes. Let me just tell you, that's a big hire for the USL. And what they're going to do, that's massive. That's massive.
Sorry, I had to get that screen fixed behind me. Yeah, that is massive. You were talking about that, then it finally broke the other day.
Yeah, I mean, I just think overall, Tony Scholes was the chief exec for I think 17 years at Stoke City, through the championship to the Premier League and everything. Then he moved, and then he worked with the FA, the Football Association in England, and then I think he worked with the Premier League itself. So him making that jump now, going to the USL and being implemented with the promotion relegation and basically kind of overseeing all of that. It's going to take time, but this is a huge hire. And if I'm the MLS, you definitely have to be thinking a little bit, because this is not this is going to be challenging them. And I'm saying, and I want they have to be bold. They have to be bold. They have to be ambitious, and they have to be kind of like full steam ahead. If they get the TV deals and they get the attraction of like, okay, now it's not a single entity. They got owners that they have money, right? And they have relationships, whether they have relationships in Europe, and there's ownerships already. Obviously, Tony Scholes, and from what I've heard, because he's been working with the Premier League, he's in with the ownerships there, right? They're probably licking their chops right now, thinking, you know what? Now we can get in the beginning stage of this and really throw some money at it and be really bold with it. And if they are, and they put money in behind with the infrastructure, dude, they're going to start attracting the good average players in the MLS, right? And that will be guaranteed, and they'll follow FIFA regulations and all that. There's no doubt in my mind they'll start appealing to the bigger name players, because they'll have their control, and it's not a single entity. You don't have to deal with all this bullshit and made up rules all the time.
Will they have the money? Is there enough financial backing to keep it going? Like, if it's a slow start, are they going to be able to keep momentum, or is it like you see a lot of these other leagues where they kind of start strong, but if you run out of money, you're fucked?
Well, I think that's just the individual ownerships, right? You look at there's one individual owner that owns Rhode Island, that owns Phoenix Rising Sun, then he owns Ipswich, and you're gonna find those owners that have multiple clubs.
Yeah.
Probably whether in Europe, anywhere in really Europe or South America or whatever, and they're gonna say, hey, shit, this is a great way for us to filter players through the system, just like the rest of the world does, except for the MLS. As in, brother or sister clubs, and it's like
You're going
how
to
the
be seeing
whole
like the youth guys from Ipswich not ready for the first team, but
True.
come get first team minutes in
yeah.
America.
Yeah, if it's connected like that, that would be awesome.
I mean, that's probably what's going to happen, and players need to develop a little bit, need to get, and it's instead of like sending them to fucking League Two in England
Yeah.
or whatever, that they can play decent level, and they know they have the coaches there, they have the infrastructure, and it's in a better system, better setup. I mean, dude, that's a no brainer, And then what they're doing is they're investing in the players and the development. So imagine now, instead of the MLS Next stuff or the MLS Academy systems, now these guys, these youth players can actually go boom. They can go anywhere now. Oh, he's that good. Now he can make that jump to Europe. Seamless. And the clubs will actually make money. The league doesn't take a portion of it. The actual club does, which becomes beneficial. It's like you look at Sporting, Lisbon, right? How many players do they develop? That's their thing. They develop, and they just sell their best players. That's how they make money.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like more of those clubs will come in, and you get a direct relationship to these clubs, and the owners are making money that way. And it's going to take time. Like, it doesn't happen overnight, but I think that's, for me, I hope it happens, because at some point the US system right now doesn't have that umbrella. It's like
There's no
it's so fractured.
incentive to develop a player.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Good point, Brek.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking on USL, how do you prepare your team for the playoffs if your organization just came to you and told you that they're no longer going to have a team next year, like North Carolina?
Yeah, what the fuck
I
happened
know.
there? They're
Or is it a big positive thing? Because now you're like, hey, you got to go out there and show other teams why you should be on their teams.
True.
Play well for us.
I just think something like this isn't going to hurt soccer in America is the biggest takeaway from something like this.
Oh,
not the team folding, but like the Tony Scholes getting involved is a massive win for United States soccer in general.
Yeah.
You need competition.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep. You're exactly right. And I think that's a huge point, Gump, that it is a positive. It's not going to hurt. It's only going to be a positive way, and it's going to start changing people.
And and if you have different, if it's not like say you, like you said, Ipswich involved, say you have coaches from England, it's everybody who plays in America now, it feels like in the MLS, it's just speed. You just want to be an athlete. Like, I think it does. You do need to think a little bit differently when it comes to, like, that might cut it here, but when you go out and you're playing for the USA against a team that controls the ball, like, you have to know more than just, run 100 miles per hour, and fucking, you have to be able to pass the ball around and know when to sit back and know when to chase. Like, I think there's just more learning for these players at a younger age that needs to happen to grow their game as they grow up in the game.
Yeah. And I mean,
I was going to say, I think that's the problem with a lot of Americans, like the ones that are super athletic, they get by just on straight athleticism and physicality. And then all of a sudden one day you're going to show up and everyone's just as fast and physical. So now, like, can you prove yourself with your technical ability?
Yeah.
And I think there's a big gap where you don't improve your technical ability because you don't really have to, right? You're just better than everyone just purely off athleticism.
Yeah, if you're bigger, stronger, faster than everybody your whole life, and then it's fine, but then you're going to get to that point. What happened? I had it on pause.
Your boy in goal.
Who?
Courtois just made a save on Virgil.
This fucking guy.
But hey, Virgil's shit this year, though. Right?
Okay.
No, he's washed.
I love anytime Virgil talk is the best. Him talking about Rooney, it's like, yeah, I guess he's a legend, but he's lazy. Like, that's just such a shot that is just so subtle, but everyone's like, you know what? You can't argue with what he's saying. Like, you can't.
Can we talk about how bad the coach actually just didn't do anything last year? It was like,
oh, buddy, I tried, dude. I sat there and I watched that Instagram a few times, and I was like, I'm not gonna comment on this. And then one morning I woke, another one. What the fuck, dude?
Save, dude.
it makes you angry, bro. And honestly, like
because
some
you
of
know
the
what it
shit.
is, and it's a homer take, and I know it is, and that's why I try not to say anything because I am diehard Liverpool. But the takes that are happening are these takes that these people sat on last year and they wanted to get out, but they couldn't because they won the league. It's like people wanted to say Arne Slot wasn't good enough to fill Klopp's shoes.
Hundred
They've been
percent.
wanting to say that the whole time. And then the first time there's a blip, and yes, it's a big blip because they lost 4 games, and that hasn't happened in forever. But they've been sitting dead red waiting to bury this guy. And it's like, you can't, like, it's not fair to him, man. And it was so cool when they went up on Villa and you saw all the fans doing the Arnie Slot chant. It's like, that's such a cool moment for him because everyone's just sitting, waiting to bury these guys no matter what. And it sucks, dude.
But if you're in Ten Hag, then for sure he deserves it because he destroyed.
Yeah, like if you're shit and it's proven you're shit, it's one thing. But trying to bury a guy who took a team over in a tough spot, like you saw what happened to Moyes, who I think is a very good gaffer. What happened?
And he went in
what
at
happened
Man
to him
United.
when he took over after Sir Alex Ferguson, and he couldn't do it. Like you're talking, you filling Klopp's shoes is,
and you know what the crazy thing
damn
is?
near impossible because the way Klopp, like people don't remember what Liverpool was before Klopp. Like I'm telling you, dude, it was Brothers Grimm.
Fucking Brendan
Like,
Rodgers.
yeah,
Fucking,
he Klopp saved Liverpool, and I'll say it a million times. Like Klopp brought Liverpool back to relevance.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at like Man United, whoever the next coach who can get United back, like they're going to be beloved because they've been through the mud with these other guys.
Yeah. And you hit the nail on the head because with Moyes when he came over, he was set up to fail, right? Like it was like Ferguson he got the every last ounce of like
Percy was
winning
cooked.
the league.
Yeah. He got out at the right. He was
year.
like, "I'm fucking done." Where's
I'm
Klopp?
fucking done.
Klopp in that Amazon documentary said, "I'm leaving now because I think I've set this team up where they can still go." He said he thought it was the right time.
Where Ferguson was the opposite.
Yeah,
He's like, we can't do anything more.
But Ferguson also did it for way longer, so I can't,
100%.
Yeah, but Ferguson
he did
said the same thing. It's the right time to leave because it's going to all go to hell.
But I will tell you though, he did leave a very good, structured group of veterans, and that could monitor itself and keep the discipline and everything. And you know what? Listening to Moyes in the interviews and some of the stuff, like when he went in, he's like, listen, I'm not trying to change anything that he's done.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that. But it took some time. And if you look at like the numbers wise, he was better than Ten Hag.
Oh, yeah.
And his numbers
all those
were better.
Guys were. Solskjaer,
but,
all of them.
Yeah. And you think, but because it came off of Ferguson and they won the league, bosh.
Yeah.
So the people criticize fucking, it's crazy.
And we also want to live in this world where you just spend a bunch of money and your team's brand new and everything's going to be fine. Like the reality of soccer is it's a team sport and you can sign all these guys, but it takes time. Another one. Jesus. It takes time for these guys to learn how to play with each other, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like that team was close last year. Like people can say what they want about Nunez. He was beloved by that team. Beloved by that team. It didn't work out as far as scoring goals, but
that fantastic interview with Klopp and Dyer, the CEO, I thought it was amazing. But the way he talked about each moment, and he said it's okay, like we can have a whole board that can make decisions, right? Like in your whole thing. But he's like, we're not building for the present, which usually happens. And he said that the problem is these clubs, and it happened at United, Ten Hag gets all his players in and they don't fit the system.
Yeah.
They don't fit. There's no identity, right? So what did Klopp do? Okay, we have to identify the identity of it. And now they sign these players, right? They have to start to think to rebuild because, hey, Trent's gone. Okay, Virgil and Salah and all these guys eventually are going to leave. What is the next? Now we have a really good group of youth academy players. They'll only be so much. but we need to sustain it so we don't drop a different level. But they're also investing in younger, more fruitful like talent with the veteran players. So what the veteran teaches the younger players, but they're at that level right now. And that's like they're signing these players for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
10 years, if that, you know? So it was interesting to see because I mean, I think that's where um that's where United went wrong, right? And you give a manager and they can just sign each year. They sack them, boom. Now the manager wants his own players, right? And yes, a manager should have like one or two picks of for what he wants.
Yeah.
But you're not going to buy into the system and buy into, hey, this manager should fit this. It's not going to work. You're just going to be the chop and changing every year, you know? And yeah,
It's also just
now
a
you're
shame. Like look at Rashford, man. Like he's been lights out for Barcelona. Like
yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest clubs in the world, man. So it's like time ran its course at Man U. Like it was ugly at the end. Maybe he wasn't giving the effort he should have been. But also for him, it's like he wasn't starting games,
Yeah.
you know? And it kind of just took its toll. Like he's doing very well at Barca. Yamal scored again on the weekend. They won. It feels like that's just the Yamal, it's just never going to end. Like, as long as Yamal is fucking playing soccer, there's just going to be drama. Like, that's just what it is.
Yeah, I think, I think we've talked about it a few episodes. I think remember we talked about it from when our trip back.
Yeah.
And, I specifically mentioned it even before of like, there's just this, I know it's a younger generation, but it's just like this thing, they end up showing how he kissed the badge after he scored. Yeah, it's great. But you look at they compare it with Messi and these guys, and okay, maybe Messi did it behind closed doors, but he didn't do it in public,
Yeah.
or he didn't run his mouth in these particular ways. And I think that's where the public is going to he's going to become the villain.
Yeah, because
Because
he's opened the door. You've
yeah,
opened the door to
exactly.
the
He's
criticism.
invited that.
Yes. Well, now it's like anybody who wants to bury you now is going to think, oh, well, I can do it because he did this. Or do you worry about that injury at all? I saw a thread on X about players who have had that injury before, and it's kind of lingered their whole careers. Have you read anything about that?
I think until he has surgery, it'll linger, but I haven't seen if it's what we thought it was. But do you think also, like, the environment he grew up in, you see the videos of his dad,
Yeah,
the malls? Do you think that has anything to do with it too? Like, it's not helping him.
For sure. And we've said it like, yeah, dude, and that's where it's so important. I think Berbatov was talking about that, right? And just there's ex players that have come out with Drogba, like it's his the biggest downfall is going to be the people that he surrounds himself with, and what you're doing. Drogba was saying, you play against Barcelona and you have world class players that you're playing against, and they're not like chatting shit. They're not going out in public and and think about if you look at Messi and Ronaldo, they talk about each other, they respect each other,
yeah,
but it is very competitive. Ronaldo thinks he's the best, Messi thinks he's the best, and you know what? They both are the best because for me, they're not. One is not as successful if they don't have each other. For me, look at the path that they both had, completely different paths, different journeys. But dude, I'm sorry, we will never see anything like it as long as we live.
no, the
Two players that
longevity.
are still producing, and they've pushed each other to different levels that we've never seen before. And yes, did they have their arguments and their tiffs and this and that? Yeah, but they were never chatting shit or going like that. And you look at Pep was on Real Madrid smashing Messi,
Yeah.
and you had Sergio Ramos smashing fucking Messi.
Yeah, it was the biggest rivalry in Spanish soccer. Like that's just how it was. But they were both at the end of the day, they both knew each other's greatness and they respected each other.
Yeah.
And you look at Di Maria was Ronaldo's teammate
Yeah.
at Real Madrid. Then you had Pep was Ronaldo's teammate at with the national team.
Yeah.
So you have like all these things, and it's like shit. You respect it, and you think, come on, you go out, you win the league, and you're walking out and you're wearing the sunglasses, and it just doesn't look great. And it could have been just someone from the team just say, hey, come on,
Yeah.
like just let's be a little bit more classy. But he's also so young,
That's what I'm
right? You
saying
might
is I
look
don't
back on
know
him.
who's the true leader on that Barcelona team. Like, there's nobody really, unless Lewandowski is going to take him to the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who's the true captain of that team?
Yeah. That's a great point.
And Lewandowski came out today and said he's not sure about his future either. So I think is his contract up after this year? I can't remember. I remember.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I think he would be a fantastic addition to an MLS club, and
Did I not see rumors this week about an MLS club?
I mean, he would absolutely destroy. He would destroy teams.
Oh yeah.
You know, I could see him going to somewhere in California, maybe a San Diego. In addition to that,
dude, sorry to cut you off. I love Hugo, man. Ekiteke.
Yeah.
He is 22 years old. He is so good, man. He's so
looks hungry too.
Yeah, like the way he's on the ball too. He fly. It looks like effortless how fast he moves. Oh, there's a fucking get the card out, man. Yep.
Like
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yellow for you, sir.
Come on, Jude. Hey, Jude.
Gravenberch is filthy too. And that's another thing when you talk about they're like Slot didn't do anything. Gravenberch was nothing with Klopp.
Yeah.
Like Slot put him in that defensive midfield role. Like he revitalized his career, man. So it's like,
well, what did he do? He didn't even coach.
Yeah, I was literally like, all I pictured was Slot just stand on the sideline like this for an entire season. Never did a damn, never made a sub, never just fucking sat there doing like that was absurd, man. But you see the stat about Haaland's just never offside?
It's insane,
dude. It's
how
crazy.
Is that? He's so good, dude, and respect to him doing the fucking. The crouchy mashed it up together too of him doing it. It was fucking all time. Haaland is just
what about
McAllister?
I walked so they could run.
Let's go. Legend. Real Madrid wants him too.
Liverpool. I still have this. I'm not giving it to you until we see you.
Walk on. They're gonna bring Trent on now too.
Look at him.
They cut to Trent doing up.
Do you think Trent's inside right now going,
He's got to be so pissed, dude. This got to suck for him.
Yeah.
Legit. Zabby.
But I will say,
I forgot about Xavi.
It was Xavi, like with him and Trent going to Jota's the night before, obviously, and it was a touch of class, obviously.
It was.
Yes.
Just overall, man, I think
what a move.
Xabi Alonso's such a legend, man. Like to be a legend at so many clubs like he is truly incredible.
He's just like you think about like a player like him, right? And then I just like you thinking of like Zidane, right? Like, dude, the guy fucking any
ball you wanted from anywhere on the pitch, he's got you.
Yeah.
Legit. If you're open, he'll hit you in stride.
I just that's what I'm saying. Like, I just appreciate like, dude, these guys were so fucking good. And let me just break it down for you, right? And someone asked me a question the other day about.
We got a VAR here.
Someone sent me a clip, right, of a player. Gump, you're gonna laugh. Somebody sent me a clip of a guy playing like fucking Sunday League, right? And the guy was silky smooth. He hit like 5 or 6 passes, and they were like perfect. And he goes, why do you think this guy didn't make it to the highest level? And I'm like, well, one, like anybody can make highlights to make themselves look like fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's like 5 or 6 passes here, and maybe there was 10 other passes that he gave away, pissed away. But there's more than that. It's like the whole understanding of of football, the IQ, the strength, the speed, it's everything. And I'm like, dude, you can go play pickup basketball and be like, how the fuck did this guy not play?
Yeah.
Well, because there's a reason you didn't make it, because you might have not had that factor, right? That X factor that there's only a few people that
Can you
make
do
it,
it
right?
week in, week out?
Yeah.
Can you do it week in,
with
week
the
out?
best?
Can you do it on a rainy Wednesday night at Stoke? You know?
There you go.
Tuesday.
That's what we'll never know about Messi, you know?
But you think of like a guy like Zidane, right? And you see this guy has done it as a player,
Yeah.
and now he did it as a manager. And there's just like there's levels of everything. And you have to to simplify the game. It is like these guys are thinking on a whole different fucking level.
Yeah.
The whole entire different level. And to be that intelligent as a world-class player like a Zidane, right? And now to simplify it and to dumb it down to players that can't speak at your level or see and understand the game at your level is fucking hard. And I think you look at Thierry Henry, he
Didn't do
struggled
it.
to do
Yeah.
that. He's not a great manager, right? He might be better at certain things. He can see the game and analyze a game like no other, right? But he might not be able to simplify it and pass that message along to someone else because he's thinking here when everyone else is thinking down here. And I think that just talks about levels in football. And people don't realize you need everything to make it to the top.
Yep.
And it's the small details that make such a big difference. And that's where these guys are on a whole different level.
Well, that's like everyone like wants to like take shots at Pep because the spending money. It's like, I don't think people realize how difficult it is to coach in almost every league and win. I don't care how much money you're spending. Like
Yeah.
Pep, now Xabi Alonso's doing it. Like it's incredible, man, to try. Like he was Germany, Spain, England. Like he's won everywhere he's gone, and he wasn't the best player. Like
No.
then you talk about Klopp. Like Klopp's like, I was shit. You know, I was no good. But you know, there's just and like Henry, amazing player, but he wasn't a good coach. Like that's just how
Well,
it
not
goes.
I would say not a good manager. He might
Yeah.
be a really good coach and helping players to like do things, but maybe it didn't translate because he couldn't simplify it.
Yeah.
You know? And it's
I
like
think it's the same thing as a coach as you were saying a player. You could be good at one part of the coaching gig, but you're not good at all of
everything.
like the player managing, maybe the articulating or the breaking down the other team. Like there's just like a player, you got to be good at a bunch of things to make it work.
Yeah.
Especially
and
now,
have a good support staff.
Especially now, I think more than ever, you have to have like back in the day, maybe coaches just did what they did and it was like, this is how, like, I think more now than ever, you have to have like a legitimate relationship with every player on your team.
Yeah.
Like you can't
100%.
like the days are gone where you just show up and you're like, these are the fucking rules. This is what we're doing. Like, yes, the rules are the same for everybody, but I think now more than ever, you have to have that relationship with your player, and players talk about that more than ever too. It's like that. That's a big. It'll never get said, but that's why Trent left Liverpool. Like Trent's relationship with Klopp was different.
Yeah.
Like if Klopp
100%.
was still coaching, Trent would still be there. Like that.
And
I'm
maybe
glad
it
you
was
said that. I'm glad you
was
said
that
that.
related.
Brought that up once when he was leaving.
Well, yeah, we were living in the moment. Now,
but you know, hold on.
Myself out of the equation.
But that's an Ancelotti when Javi comes in and he goes,
Look at Vinny Jr.
This is complete opposite of what Ancelotti did. But guess what? He played for Ancelotti. And he goes, you know what, as a manager, I want to do this. This is my way. But I'm sure he has the same. There are some of the things that he learned from Ancelotti that he probably took on, but he was successful at Leverkusen. So you can't, and that's the thing. Like, just to go back, those decisions in every single thing, they're seeing it on so many different levels, right? As a player, as a coach, they did it as a player. Now they're doing it as a coach and manager, and they're successful. But to go back to like just being a player and to analyze the game at such a speed, people don't give players enough credit. Like for hitting a fucking 30-yard ball on the go, in between. You're splitting a line, right? You're splitting two lines of possession to give your forward or your winger an opportunity to get behind the defense.
Like
And you're doing it at fucking full pace,
yes,
full intensity, and you have to hit that on a dime with that player receiving the ball on stride, on his foot, without breaking stride. Do you know how fucking hard that is?
Even think about
People don't realize.
just a through ball. You're talking about just a through ball to like put a guy in on a breakaway. It's like the
curve,
difference,
the pace.
Yeah, like the difference between
so
fucking
like the goalie doesn't get it, or the defender, attacker can get it. The way it's spinning, it's happening
and the
that.
thing is,
people don't process it.
As you're processing, and this is where you're kind of going through, like these guys are seeing things they're analyzing formations, you're seeing the game, right? Now, that's why it's probably for them tactically, they can analyze the game because they did it throughout when they were playing. But what's like beautiful in soccer that people don't realize, these players each time they're receiving the ball, the formation changes, right? The picture changes.
Yeah.
They're seeing a picture before they have the ball, and as the ball comes, they're receiving it. Picture just changed. Now they have to make a decision, or they've made the decision before. Picture changed. They now have to make an adjustment, and now they're hitting a pass. They're constantly reading the formations and analyzing where they're taking their first touch, and that's what these coaches are doing. Like it's just crazy to me because you think about it as a quarterback, right? As a quarterback, you study formations. Okay, you make this call, and Pat can correct me if I'm wrong, right? But they're analyzing formations, right? They know the timings and everything. So if the defense does this, they're going to make this call offensively because that's where they can break them down. The only time it changes is if it kind of goes into a scramble and they have to make something happen. Dude, imagine that you're making something happen all the time for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're having to have the right pace, the right like touch. It's incredible. And I think that's where people need to realize how fucking hard soccer is. And for a player to be so successful on the pitch and doing it in a world-class manner, and now becoming a world-class manager is
harder,
incredible.
It's vision,
and I think
literally insane.
Give them credit.
Yeah, like it is. It's unbelievable. And your career for how long it is. Like that's your whole life, man. You finish your career and then you coach for as long as you can, and it's hats off to all of them, man, because it is incredible.
Trent's warming up.
So I mean, sorry for my rant, but I think that's just important for people to realize.
What do you think of Crystal Palace's coach Glasner being pissed off about Chris Richards playing on international break?
I don't understand that.
I don't either. It's like can the team say no?
Yeah.
So would you not just say no then?
It happened to me, like when under Jurgen like it was pressure. I was coming back from an injury, and he'd rather me not risk going back to. I mean, obviously, as a player, you want to play, but people have to realize, at the end of the day, the club is your boss. They're paying your paychecks. Now, when you go into the national team, are you getting a paycheck? Yeah, but you're only getting it for that week. You go there and you get injured, then you go back to your club. You're out for fucking 2 or 3 months.
Yeah,
the club is going to get upset. So if there was a situation before and they had communication, right, which seems that from what we had, there were talks of like, hey, we want to rest you one of the games or whatever. Shit happens, shit changes. There's obviously the national team was under some pressure, you could say.
Yeah.
And they needed to perform. So I imagine that's probably why they need to get the kinks out and get all the players that he wanted to see play with each other. But the manager has every right, because if he had felt anything or anything like that, they do have the final say at the end of the day.
Well, and then Pulisic and they agreed that he's going to stay in Italy because he's injured for the November international break.
And I'm sure all the fucking U.S. reporters and everybody would be like, here we go again. I can't believe this. You're making it. an issue. But hey, I mean, look at what he's done. He fucking performed. He's playing well. When he, yeah, it's just crazy, and that's going to become an issue again. It's going to be like, oh well,
it's just a hot topic. It's just it's an easy thing to talk about. One last thing.
I don't know. As a fan, he just needs to be healthy for the World Cup.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Oh, it doesn't matter anything else from here on out. Also, the Chris Richard thing. It's like maybe because we're in America, we see it more, but it doesn't happen to every country, every team all the time.
Legit.
I mean, like we saw it with Spain and Barcelona. Obviously, he had a little injury, so a little different, but you see it all the time.
Yeah, Klopp used to always fucking go at it with all the fucking international managers.
Because he wanted to be like, hey.
Because they'd always get sent home, man. Anytime there was a run where every time Alisson and Firmino went and played for Brazil, they came back in. They wouldn't even finish the international break. They'd fucking come home because they were hurt.
You want to hear a quick story of this? My first year under Pulis, right?
Oh,
we got
fucking killed.
I got a curly finger because we were playing. I forget who we were playing. Like the curly finger. Get over here, son. Get over here. So it was like John Walters, myself, Glenn Whelan, Asmir. It was pretty much like all the national team players. And there was like 5 or 6 of us that were for sure going to play. And then there was probably another 5 or 6 that weren't playing on a week in and week out that he was fine to let go. And he called us in, sat us down. He's like, what do we have to do so you guys don't go? Like straight up. And I just remember Waltz was like, Gaff, it doesn't work like that. If like, even if you do say we're injured, the national team still is allowed to call you in. You can still go, but they can have their medical staff look at you and like do all this, right? And he goes, nah, son, fuck off. Like, it was like, he was like, oh my, all he cared about was just keeping us fresh for after the international break because we had a fucking big game that we had to win. And he's like, I'll give you a week off, son. Like it was really. And then you hear stories like, Klopp didn't want, Salah to go. He didn't want Mane to go. Didn't want these. He wanted to keep them fresh as possible because guess what? As they left, they're doing, 14, 15-hour travel. And then they're playing a game.
Think about the people going to Ireland. It's freaking a hop down the road. Yeah. You going to U.S. or for Klopp, Mane going to Africa. Same with why am I drawing Salah. His name? Salah. But then those Alisson and Firmino going to Brazil. That's a big deal. Even if you're coming back after playing, like that wrecks your body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then you're expecting you get back on a Thursday or Friday, and then you're playing on the game Saturday. And it's like
up at 3 a.m. on Saturday.
It does. There's fuckery.
There's a lot there, dude. Yeah, we were in Spain for 3 days. I think I slept for 6 hours. So
what do you mean? We just had an espresso martini. Hey,
that was an impressive run by all Gumpy and
10 espressos a day, dude. Those things are diesel, man.
Let me tell you that those espresso martinis.
10 espressos and 5 croissants would get you through anything.
Dude, it's rocket fuel, man. It was rocket fuel.
When's the next strip, boys?
Yeah, we got to line it up. On the curly finger and a espresso martini, we'll get out of there. We appreciate you all following along. We'll see you next time. Cheers.